In this video, I'll walk through how to use streams inside Microsoft Teams on desktop. We'll cover the core day-to-day tasks, calling, managing call activity, SMS, fax, and contacts, so you know where everything lives and how it's typically used. What you're looking at here is streams running inside Microsoft Teams. The interface is part of Teams, while the underlying phone system is powered by streams. We'll start by looking at the main interface and where users will spend most of their time on a day-to-day basis. Now, before we move on, there's one quick note about the plugin. Streams uses a lightweight component to enable calling from Teams. Now, if it isn't installed yet, you'll see the option to download it. And once installed, you can launch it directly from within Teams. Now, keep in mind the plugin needs to be running in the background for calls to work properly. If calls don't initialize, restarting the streams process typically resolves it. So we're going to click on Open Plugin and give it a second. All right, and now once that is running, everything happens directly within Teams, and you're good to go. Now, from a layout perspective, everything is organized across the top and left side here. You've got your cell phone for dialing and active calls, calls history, voicemail and recordings, and then you also have messaging and fax alongside contacts. It's all accessible from this same interface. So once you know where things live, moving between them is pretty straightforward. Starting here with the soft phone, this is the dial pad for placing outbound calls. Now, for example, if I dial a number directly from here, the call is placed immediately from the soft phone. Now, as calls come in or go out, they're logged in the call section right here. You can filter by inbound, outbound, or missed calls if you need to trace activity. Voicemail and recordings are accessible from the same area just so everything related to calling stays consolidated. If you click on call forwarding, you'll be redirected to the main Streams application. Routing plans are configured there under your call routing settings. And once they're set, you can actually switch between your existing plans from the main Streams interface, just like so. Now, Streams for Teams focuses on day-to-day communications, while the routing configuration is handled in the main Streams app. Once you select a routing plan there, it becomes active and applies across Teams, the desktop app, and mobile. Fax is available directly within Streams, and you can also send faxes via email. Now, to send the fax from the interface, you'll enter a destination number and then upload your documents by dragging and dropping them into the upload area or clicking on Browse Files. All right. Now, keep in mind, you can attach multiple PDFs as long as the total size stays under 50 megabytes. Now, those files will be transmitted together as a single fax. All right. You also have two cover page options. You can, attach your own cover page where you upload a PDF to use as the cover, or you can do a custom cover page, which lets you fill in fields like company, sender, subject, and even a short message directly in the form. Just keep in mind faxing requires an enabled DID on your account. In addition to personal faxing, Streams also supports fax groups. Now, fax groups function as shared inboxes tied to a number, similar to SMS groups. So instead of faxes going to one individual, they're delivered to the group inbox, where anyone with access can view or take action. Now, at the top of the inbox, you'll see disposition filters like all, sent, received, unread, and failed/canceled. These allow you to quickly sort and track fax activity within the group. Now, the workflow for sending remains the same. The only difference is visibility and shared access. SMS is available directly within streams and works at both the individual and group level. Under the Direct tab, you'll see one-to-one conversations. You can send standard text messages, and MMS is supported as well, meaning you can attach images and files directly in the message thread. Now, to start a new message, we'll click on this icon, send a new SMS. We'll enter the recipient's number, then confirm the sending DID, and then continue to the conversation window. Now, keep in mind, SMS does require an enabled DID on your account. Now, under the Group tab, you'll see shared SMS inboxes tied to a number. Now, messages sent to that number are delivered to the group inbox rather than to a single individual. So anyone assigned to the group can read and respond. This allows teams to manage conversations collectively without messages being tied to one person's account. And then at the top of the inbox, you'll see filters such as all, direct, group, and unread, which help organize and track activity. One final note on SMS groups is if a group has more than one DID assigned, there is a setting that lets you control which number outbound messages use. If enabled, users can choose the sending number. If disabled, messages sent from the group's primary DID. Now, I won't walk through that here, but it's available if your group has multiple numbers. The contact section functions as your shared directory. You can filter using the tabs at the top. You have company, imported, other, teams, and favorites, depending on how your contacts are organized in your environment. Now, you can use the search bar to quickly locate a specific person or number. And when you click into a contact, you'll see quick actions options such as call, chat, fax, or adding them to your favorites. So, really, this section is primarily for visibility and fast access instead of manually dialing or having to search elsewhere. It's also helpful to understand how availability works. Even though you're inside Microsoft Teams, your business number isn't tied to this client alone. Call handling is managed by streams, so your number, voicemail, and routing remain consistent across other streams clients. Your communication is tied to your account, not a single interface. While you're on a call, you'll see options like transfer and park. If you click park, the call is placed into a temporary park slot and assigned an extension. That extension can then be dialed by anyone on the team to retrieve the call from their own device. So instead of sending the call to one specific person, you're essentially placing it into a shared pickup point. The call stays there until someone retrieves it or it times out. Now, for transferring, you have blind transfer, sometimes called a cold transfer, which sends the call directly to another user or number without speaking to them first. Once you transfer it, the call leaves you immediately. Now, You have a supervised transfer, also known as warm transfer. This lets you speak to the receiving party first. So the original caller is placed on hold while you call the destination, give context, and confirm they're available. Once they're ready, you complete the transfer. So this is helpful when the next person needs background before taking the call. You also can just transfer the call straight to voicemail. So if you ever need a quick explanation, parking creates a shared pickup point with an extension, blind transfer sends the call immediately, and a supervised transfer lets you check in first. That covers the day-to-day use of Streams inside Microsoft Teams. By adding the Streams app, users get calling, SMS, and fax directly within Teams without needing separate licenses, add-ons, or a standalone dialer. SMS and fax do require enabled DIDs, but once those are in place, usage is straightforward. If you have any questions about configuration or setup after this session, support can always help out with those changes.